Everyone, and welcome to my YouTube channel, Netty the Coder. Today we're going to be talking about interaction in JavaScript, how we can interact with different functions of JavaScript, and how it really works. Before diving into the lecture, please make sure you watch the previous videos on the JavaScript tutorial, just make sure that you follow along. Let's just dive into the lecture. Interaction. As we will be using the browser as our demo environment, let's see a couple of functions to interact with the user. For example, we have three kind of functions that we'll be natively using, like alert, prompt, and confirm. Let's just talk about the very first one. A mini window. Alert is basically just a mini window that with a message that is called a modal window. For example, alert hello. So let's just see in practical example, and let's just get rid of this code. For now, you can just call this function like this, alert, and hello world. You can just put any message that you want if you type, and just print it. So for example, when I save this file and refresh, you'll get a small pop-up window that got your message. It's called hello world, and it does nothing but just shows you the message, and you can just press the OK button just to get rid of this. So this is basically the alert window that shows you the message. We have another type that is called prompt. The function prompt accepts two arguments, title of the dialog and the default value of the input, which is optional. Shows a modal window with a text message and input field for the visitor and the buttons OK or cancel. Example is this. So for example, let's just quickly dive into this, and we just talked about alert. Let's just comment this out and see the prompt. So prompts basically accept two parameters. You can see over here there's a message parameter, there is a default value, and you can provide both of them, but the second one is optional. So for example, I have a question over here, what is your name? And I save it and refresh. You can see now we have a message, but with the message we have a small input window where you can just type in something. So it's being asking about my name. So for example, I can put my name is Jackson, just Dante. So I can put the name, I can cancel it, or I can just press OK. So this is how it really works. But in order to interact with it, for example, what happens if I want to input the value, to get the input value, how can I do that? But before going to that, I can pass, let's talk about the second value, and I can pass any value I want. For example, for instance, I pass the default value, John Doe. And when I save the file, refresh, you can see that the value that we passed as a second argument to the function is already there. I can just clean it up or just press OK and say close the dialog. So what happens and how we can get the value out of this function? So all we can do is simply declare a variable, just name equals this, and we can just console log a message. And that could be anything. For example, I can say, okay, your name is, what is your name? So I can just put name over here and save it. When I refresh the page, the John Doe is already there, and I can just simply, for example, I can change it to something else and press OK button. You can see your name is John Dante. What happens if I refresh it and I don't press the OK button? I just press cancel. Your name is null because I didn't press OK. So based on this, if the name is null, for example, we can check this condition. If the name is null, then we don't show this message. Otherwise, show this message. But for now, we're not covering that. It's going to be a next lecture for that, for conditional rendering and all that. But for now, just keep in mind how we can get the value out of it. Or if we didn't pass any value to this, and we just refresh the page, we get the input value. And for example, I can put in Jackson Dante, our correct name that I want, and then press OK, and then I'll get a message, your name is Jackson Dante. So Just keep in mind that the code is executed line by line, so one line after another line in sequential order. So this is how it's working. So first we are prompting the message, then we are getting the value of this and saving it or assigning it into the name variable. Then we are printing simply the variable name, the variable value. And yeah, this is how it works. The square bracket means that the value is optional. So wherever you see the square brackets and within a function or something like that, and documentation, it really means that the value is optional. There is another type of dialog that is called confirm. The function confirm shows the model window with a question and two buttons, OK and cancel. The result is true if the OK is pressed and false otherwise. So yeah, let's just see how it really works. Confirm. So we just talked about alert and we talked about prompt. We have another type called confirm. Okay, and we can have a message. Okay, we can say, are you the boss? And we can assign a value to another variable. Let's say, for example, a message is boss. We can see if it is boss. So we can say, we can just print the value of is boss and see what the user really passes to what the user really presses. So when we refresh, we get the same kind of dialog without the input box, but now we have two buttons. We have a cancel and we have an OK button. If I press the OK button, I'll get a true. Okay, I'm a boss. And if I refresh again, if I can press the cancel button, I get a false. That means, okay, I'm not a boss. And based on this decision, you can see the is boss is passed over here and this is printed. So from this dialog, we get a true or false value based on the OK and cancel buttons respectively. Note these methods are models. They pause the script execution and don't allow the visitor to interact with the rest of the page until the window has been dismissed. So I think you have already observed the same behavior over here. So unless I have closed this model, I cannot interact with the page anymore. And you can see that it is showing the perpetual loading icon over here as well. Unless I have canceled or confirmed this dialog, so it is dismissed. So once it is dismissed, then you can see the loading is gone and then the page will be interactive for me. So make sure that you show this based on your needs and not fill the windows with a lot of other boxes. So yeah, the function confirm shows a model window with a question and two buttons, OK and cancel. And yeah, this is how the confirm works. So this is the end of the lecture, and I hope that you have learned something new in this lecture. And please like and share the video, subscribe to the channel, and make sure to press the bell icon for future updates. And until then, I'll see you in the next lecture.